All right, welcome to Mishnayos. We're learning now Maseches Kilayim Perek Zayin, Mishna Dalet and Hey. They're grouped together. We're talking about Maseches Kvanon Gavitvasa Shel Chavero, someone who leans the branch of his vine on top of the wheat of his friend into his friend's field. Hareza Kiddush Tanakam hold is Kiddush v'chayev b'achriyu. So it does render it kodesh. Like you need tzreifa, you have to burn it. But you have to pay for it. They say you can't be Makadesh that which belongs to your friend because it doesn't belong to you. Because the pasuk says, the way the Mefarshim explain it, it says, Kar Mecha, it has to belong to you, not Kerem Chavero. Doesn't work. So the Mefarshim here try to explain. Now we pass like Tana Kama that it does work. You could be Makadesh it. In today's share, I want to explain the Tana Kama Shita, which is we hold the halacha. Right? According to Rabbi Shimon, who say it doesn't work, they have to be machalik in other isurim in the Torah. For example, someone has a pot of meat and you pour milk into his pot. There's no question, according to everybody, it would be basar b'chalav, even though the meat doesn't belong to you. So what's the difference? Why is it by over here you can't be a makadesh davar she'ein shelo, but elsewhere you could? But according to Tana Kama, you could, even in my Kilayim, you could. The Mefarshim bring another Mishnah we learned in Perek Hey that the concept of Kilayim is totally in your das, in a person's knowledge or want or his desire to make it to mix certain types of species. So the Mishnah says there that if you realize there's Kilayim in your field, and when you get to there, you say, when I get there I'm gonna uproot it. That's okay. It doesn't sound Makadish, but if you pass by it and you saw Kilayim and you said, oh, by the way, when I come back to it, I gave up hope originally. When I come back to it, so then I'll come back home. On my way back home, I'll uproot it. It is Kiddush, it is Kilayim. So you see that Kilayim is totally in his das. And if he's miyayish from it, he gives up hope. He wanted to be Kilayim. That is Kilayim. If he doesn't give up hope and he says, when I get there, it wouldn't be Kilayim. It's totally in your das. This is, in fact, the chiluk that Tosfos and Yevamos, which we're learning in Daf Yomi, Yevamos says, differences between to Mechalik in the Shita of Rabbi Shimon. Why over here by Kilayim you could aser davar, you can't aser davar she'ein shelo because it's totally in das. It's not yours. It's not up to yours. It's to your das. But basar b'chalav is telling the ma'isa, mixing basar b'chalav, the ma'isa of cooking it together. Here it's telling your das, so therefore your friend doesn't want to do it. So therefore you can't be mekadesh it. But here. But according to the Tana Kama, it does work over here. So if it's like that it's telling your das, that we know from the Mishnah, hey, on Perek Hey, it's telling your das, how come the Chama we passing like and hold that you could aser davar she'ein shelo? So I want to suggest over here the difference is over here we're talking about a ma'isa of Masach Kikfano. They're talking about where it's Mekayim Kilayim. You realize the Kilayim came by itself. There's a difference between Mekayim Kilayim B'Kerem and planting Kilayim B'Kerem. L'tizra Karmecha is planting. We learn out of Mekayim Kilayim, we learn out of the previous pasuk in Parsh Kedoshim, where it says, Sadcha Kilayim Lo, or something like that. It says Sadcha L'tizra Kilayim. The subject is Sadcha, your field. We explained that previously, that the reason you're chayav for Mekayim Kilayim is not because you intend to do it, because you own a field. As long as you give consent that the Kilayim should be there, so therefore it's part of your field, and you're responsible for your field. That's all about Mekayim Kilayim. Mekayim Kilayim, so therefore it's totally in your das, right? Because once it's nichale, once I approve of it being there, it becomes part of my field, and I'm liable for owning that field. That's why Mekayim Kilayim. That's why it's totally in your das, your approval. But here it's talking about a ma'isa. When you have a ma'isa is stronger than your das, than a person's das. If a person has das, if a person does a ma'isa, for example, we learned today in Yevamos that a person is tovel zevik knaini and he puts a pail of cement on his head while he's being tovel, ties a leash around his neck. There, even if the eved has das and he wants to be tovel lecherus and not tovel l'shem av, this doesn't work because ma'isa is stronger than das. A ma'isa action is stronger than das. Here we're talking about ma'isa. It does work because the ma'isa is stronger than das. Let's learn that tizra karmach kilayim. The ma'isa planting kilayim, that is totally in the das. So it doesn't matter what your das is. Even the das of your friend, he doesn't want it. It doesn't make a difference because the ma'isa is stronger than the das. That will be a chiluk. We'll see you on Motzei Shabbos. We'll learn 3 more Mishnayos. See that. Bye.